Hello, welcome to Talk of the Game. It's just finished. West Ham United 2, Leeds United 3. As a Harrison hat-trick has absolutely hammered us. We continue to stay in the top four, but a disappointing result from West Ham United this Saturday. Myself and Gonzo here to discuss the game. Before we do, a little disclaimer: we're reviewing the match. We're not reviewing West Ham's season. When we talk about individual players, we'll talk about their player performance from 90 minutes today. It doesn't represent our reflection of their ability or the season so far. Now, disclaimer, over and done with Gonzo. Let's get straight into Leeds' first goal, because it came after just 10 minutes. Jack Harrison getting the first of his hat-trick as well. Lovely ball over the top. Put Rafinha in a foot race with Creswell. Creswell misses it. Rafinha cuts it back. Click has a shot. Bansky saves it. Forshaw picks it up, cuts it back. Harrison has a shot and bends it into the inside corner net, whatever you want to call it. 1-0 Leeds. And I have to say, despite only being 10 minutes, almost a deserved 1-0 lead as well.
Oh, totally and utterly. We were, we looked tired from the off, which I guess is bound to happen. Yeah, I mean, the Cresswell thing was coming as well. If you look at the very first start of the game, Cresswell gives the ball away, straight away, pass it to Leeds. Second thing he does is he tries to pass it to somebody and he kicks it out into touch. Third thing he does was kick it out into touch again when he tried to pass it to somebody. So the first three passes were completely inaccurate. I thought, oh dear, are we seeing something bad here from somebody that's, just obviously been out injured? Perhaps this is why you don't play him in consecutive games that are a couple of days apart. He did get skinned by Rafinha, but there was still an opportunity to time the tackle and cut it out. And again, but look, I mean, Rafinha will do that to many, many good players. It was a good save from Fabianski. I felt I'm going to blame him for not catching that, and then the fella laid it off quite nicely to Harrison, who called it in and finished well. To be honest with you, but it was a deserved lead. There's no doubt about that.
Leeds started fantastically well. Get onto the overall view, but I think what was quite clear from the get-go, and it continued to be quite clear, was I think Bielsa had David Moyes' number today, to be honest with you. Bielsa told us what he was going to do before the game. Before the game, Bielsa said, this is how we are going to play today. They did it, and it worked. So there's no surprise factor. Bielsa literally told us, it was almost like he was calling our bluff, saying, well, go on then, start passing about from the back. Try, defend high up if you want, because this is exactly what we're going to do. And the first goal comes as a result of that high ball over the top. He told us we're going to try and get in behind West Ham's defence today. Boom, high ball over the top. The funny thing is, Creswell makes an error for it, but I almost find it hard to blame Creswell, because I think, well, at least he doesn't go to the ground. He stays on his feet. Doesn't quite get there. Fair enough. He gets back in. He covers Rafinha. Then a decent save from Fabianski. But I feel like he should probably be doing better for Harrison's shot, actually. It's curving away from Fabianski as well. But a deserved lead from Leeds. We did make it 1-1. Now we're going to skim over the first half as much as possible and do an overview, Gonzo. We didn't make it 1-1 though. Jared Bowen in 34th minute and Adam Creswell corner.
Yeah, it was a good corner from Creswell. Having criticised him, it was a good corner. I feel that Leeds were so focused on our big guys and people that would cause them bother, like Dawson and Deer, because Dawson, I think, had already headed wide before that, so that was a warning shot for them. But also Antonio was making a menace of himself, a little bit deeper, not on the keeper at that point. Rice was in there, just all those Diop and all those big guys, which I think just allowed Bowen to sort of sneak in and scored well. Showed Dawson how it was done, really. And then I thought, okay, maybe this will spark a bit of life into us now, and and the game might start to get going, because we had looked tired at that point.
They scored a corner of their own, though, just 4 minutes later. Ball come in, Luke Ayling gets his head to it, and then Harrison sort of, Leeds have a cock in the team, and Harrison used his one to score this goal. 2-1 Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. The Harrison part is not the significant part for me. I'll be careful with my words here, and I don't mean because I'm about to swear, but I thought that was some poor defending. Let me put that mildly. That was a dereliction of duty, I think. Let's put it that way. I just cannot do that. And we'll discuss as you say, it's the 90 minutes. We'll discuss the bigger connotations of what we've seen today in other videos, no doubt about it. But I would lay the blame for that goal squarely at Diop. I can't remember who got there. Was it Ayling got the header? Is that right? That was where the jewel was for that one. The fact that Harrison then went on to sort of nudge it in or chest it in or whatever he did, well done to him. But that battle was already lost just before that.
Yeah, in between Dawson and Diop, and when you watch the replays back, Diop ducks out of it. He backs off. Diop almost goes, I don't want to challenge for that. Decent header by Ayling. It's going wide, but fair play to Harrison. He's the one that's anticipating it, while Creswell in particular is pretty stationary. And Sufal, unfortunately, is keeping Harrison onside. At first glance, I thought it was actually offside, but there you have it. Sufal's keeping him on. Half-time 1-1. 2-1 Leeds. What were you thinking?
Well, I used the word for the third time, tired. Looked really, really tired. But what was worrying was how that fatigue didn't just manifest itself in our running. Maybe our running stats might not be that bad. I don't know. What it seemed to do was really affect our accuracy at doing anything and really sort of blunt our cutting edge. I didn't feel like a threat. I know we've already said that Dawson had a header. Obviously, we had a corner, but I didn't feel like we had a massive threat. What was worrying me from the start was the lack of us contesting the second balls. Whenever a ball bounced, it was a Leeds player that got to it. And the other thing, that whenever the ball was in the end, we would win a header. We'd just go into midfield, even if it was just a little short header, a little flick header. We couldn't even head it to the guy next to us. Everything was wrong. All the accuracy in that area was just completely wrong. And we just looked really, really stale, which I guess is no surprise. But at half time, I actually thought Moyes, and I was watching him. I did Moyes watch in this game. And in the first half, I actually wrote down Moyes calm. And I think he was down by the touchline. He was very, very calm down there. But I thought he's going to get in at half time. He's going to give them a massive rollicking. He'll sort something out because something has to be done, and we will see. Because I thought we were weak at both fullback. By the way, I thought Johnson's coming on here. I could have done either one. Johnson's coming on here, and there's going to be a massive Barney. Some teacups are going to be thrown. He's going to be screaming. I thought you'd probably hear it up where you are, and then they're going to come out invigorated and give the crowd something to get behind the moment we started the second half.
It was just a disaster in the first half, I must be honest. Leeds deserved their lead at half time. I thought, you say tired, I think we just looked lazy. I think it was poor. The distribution from the centre-backs and keeper was shocking. Every time we got the ball there, they'd take 4 touches, and then by the time they go to take their 5th, they're under pressure, so they've got to get rid of it. Whenever we got the ball into our front three, we looked like we can make something happen. We posed a bit of a threat with Vlasic, Fornals, Bowen and Antonio and Vice Lanzini running at them. We posed a little bit of a threat, but we didn't get the ball into their feet enough. They were chasing shadows up there. Defensively, we were shocking the whole game, but in the first half especially, we were talking about first half. First half, we were shocking. Creswell was poor. Diop was poor. Dawson was poor. Sufal was, Jesus, I don't know what happened to Sufal today. Dawson's lucky that Dan James is a skinny Damacharo and couldn't finish that. Otherwise, that'd been 3-1 at halftime. It should have been 3-1. And Dawson missed that chance as well at the other end. Diop was just calamity, clumsy. You just thought, he just gives me nightmares watching him. In the first half, I thought, please keep the ball away from him because he's going to do something for Leeds. Our whole defence was playing poorly today. I felt the worst thing is when I don't care about getting things wrong, Gonzo. When we do previews and we say we want this player to start and he starts and he plays crap, I don't really mind because we're just fans, gobby fans on a webcam at the end of the day. It's not our job. Well, it is. Being a gobby fan is our job. Being a manager and picking the right team isn't our job. But David Moyes' job is to pick the right team. He got it wrong today. And the worst thing, what I don't mind is getting it wrong. What I hate is getting it right. And therefore, manager gets it wrong. But Lanzini's centre midfield with Rice today was just wrong from the start. We struggled in midfield, and we're lucky Forshaw went off injured because he only played 15 minutes. He was best midfielder on the pitch while he was there. He was running around chasing everything. Whenever Lanzini got the ball, he was right behind him. Didn't let him play football at all. We're lucky that injury took place. That helped West Ham. And when he went off, we gained a bit of momentum. We started going. I thought, all right, it's not ideal that we need a Leeds midfielder to get subbed in order to start playing football. But here we go. And we had some bits and pieces. And the worst thing is at halftime, I thought we'll still go on and win this because we just have the better players out there. I thought Bielsa had David Moyes' number in the first half. I thought, that's right. Moyes will rectify this in the second half somehow. Moyes will work out what Bielsa's doing. I don't really feel it happened. Saying that, we got a little reaction, Gonzo. It took us 7 minutes. We made it 2-2. Pablo Fornals, I mean, Antonio's quite funny, and he tries to pass it, ends up controlling it or whatever. It's the most random assist I've ever seen, but it turned out to be a pretty good finish from Pablo.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take it. I actually thought we started the second half terribly. I thought we went out there and, we just gave the Leeds fans something to sing about straight away. Didn't come out of any intensity at all. I was surprised that goal arrived, actually, to be honest with you. But it did come from a bit of clumsiness, but what Fornals was going to go on to do was not clumsy at all. And, really good feet, drifted in there, finished well, just wonderful technique all round. And the confidence it gave him, because then, albeit only for the next 10 minutes, he started to play like Ronaldinho. Well, maybe give it the next 5 minutes, we might say that. Nutmegs and flicks and everything. So it gave him a massive bit of confidence. And obviously at that point, it's 2-2. I'm not saying at all that there's only one team that's going to win it, because I still felt that Leeds were the better team as they were throughout the game. But I thought, this is it. This is the reaction that we need. This is going to give us some confidence. And we were good for about 5 minutes afterwards. Alas, it didn't really last very long, did it?
It lasted 8 minutes. Then it was 3-2. Hat-trick for Harrison. This time, when we did the build-up show, or breakfast show, whatever it was, I said about Man U dropping points, and I said that they only scored because of 2 defensive errors for Aston Villa. We decided to do our defensive error today. Show me a goal, I'll show you a mistake. Take a pick, Gonzo, but Jack Harrison made it 3-2.
Vlasic, poor, really, really poor, really poor. And actually almost a carbon copy goal that's disallowed. The fourth one, almost a carbon copy with Antonio as well. You've got to back up. You've got to secure that ball. It was just a massive gap when the ball got played in. This massive gap between Dawson and Soufal. Honestly, it was wild. It was just, it was a forwards dream. You can't leave that sort of space in the area. You just can't. I can't believe that much space was left open. But I give Dawson a little bit of mitigation here. I think Diop was so far out of position. I think because Diop had played the ball into Vlasic, if I got that right. It didn't stick. 100%. It was a little bit of a fruity ball, to be fair. It wasn't the best ball. I'm not going to call it a hospital pass, because Vlasic should be skillful enough to deal with that. But I think Diop was almost very confident that ball was going to go in and it was going to stick. So Diop was on his way up the field at that point. I think Dawson's thought, oh, crap, where's Diop gone? So the whole defence, well, not the whole defence, Dawson's shifted across to almost cover Diop's position. But Soufal has stayed at right back, basically, and not incrementally sort of drifted across to cover Dawson's position. It smacked of a backline, just not knowing what each other were doing. Sometimes when they do the analysis on the television, they draw a line like a string between the back four that shows they're all sort of in tune, all in unison. As they're gone, there was no back four. There was no back four for that goal. I don't care. And that massive space that was left. There you go. You can blame lots of people for that. There you go. Scored a goal.
Yeah, I think you're not blaming the one guy. I'm going to blame probably most, which is Diop. I think it was a hospital pass. The distance on the pass is about 35 yards. It's easy to read for a Leeds defender. You can see it coming a mile off. Should Vlasic be doing more? Yes, he should. I think when Diop makes that pass, I have to watch back. I assume when Diop makes that pass, Soufal goes. Soufal thinks, there we go. We're on the attack. I'm off down that right-hand side. Here we go. And he goes gung-ho down there. Here's the ball. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, crap. That 10-yard sprint I've just done, well, now there's a massive gap. And lovely ball from Rafinha. Lovely finish from Jack Harrison. And that's what Jared Bourne tried to do against Norwich, really. Jared Bourne had the confidence to do that. Harrison had the confidence, but he executed it. Fantastic hat-trick. Really, really good goal from him. But it just felt so self-inflicted. And that was the most frustrating thing. Every time you watch it, you think, what's Diop doing? What's Vlasic doing? Why is Dawson there? Why is Soufal over there? You watch it, you're thinking, what is going on? We've just got back into the game after not playing very well. You're 2-2, probably don't deserve to be 2-2, but you are 2-2. And then you go and do that defensively. And when you're the attacking side of the team, you've got 2 goals, you must be thinking, well, that's got to be enough to win the game, at least get us a point. But because your defence is doing that, you're thinking, here we go. We now need to get 3 to get something, because that lot back there aren't doing their job. I don't know where to start with that goal, but anyway, Leeds thought they made it 4-2. It got ruled out. I mean, this has got to be like the harshest VAR of it. I mean, it's a correct decision. There's no
It
denying
was
it's a correct
just,
decision.
yeah.
But flipping hell, we got off with that one.
Well, we did, and it wouldn't have been unrealistic scoreline. I mean, that could have finished today. Let's be fair. That could have, if you'd have gone for I was going to say a wee, the one that's longer than a wee, with 10 minutes to go, and then we'd have jumped on here, and I said, "Oh, Geo, that finished 5-2." You wouldn't have been surprised. You wouldn't have been surprised at all. So that wouldn't, let's get that right. I mean, Diop just completely. It's embarrassing. As I say, look, we'll leave the bigger inquest, but that there's not an awful lot of way back from what we saw today. For some, I'll put it that way. That's not about fatigue levels. I totally get it. Antonio was gone after I wrote down 63 minutes. Antonio gone, absolutely knackered. Understandably so. He really puts in a shift. I'm not saying Diop doesn't put in a shift, but there's no way you ain't going to tell me a centre half runs as many miles as someone that plays in Antonio's position. You just don't. You can manage yourself a little bit better, and you can at least hold your position. Anyway, so yeah, Rafinha, he was a fantastic player. He really is a fantastic player because, of course, he almost scored with a free kick as well. And let's be fair, he stitched up Cresswell as well, and he will continue to do that to players. But it wasn't just him getting the better of him; it was he embarrassed him really, and it was a hard watch. I was certainly getting some tasty WhatsApp messages from people inside the stadium during that part. Put it that way.
Yarmolenko got a goal rightfully disallowed as well through offside, and it finished West Ham United 2, Leeds United 3. I'd like to discuss more highlights, more chances that West Ham had to equalise, but there wasn't really many, Gonzo. What did you make of the 90 minutes?
Well, there's two. There's two. One of them, Rice broke
Yarmolenko
through.
one, which he just banged.
Well, the Yarmolenko one, but there's also Rice broke through and had a shot from a tight angle. Should have squared it back for Bowen for that one. And then it had Bowen,
when it was like 1-0 or something. I'm talking about when it was 3-2 for the last 15
whatever.
minutes.
Well, the big one you're missing out is at the last, which is Bowen, where he sort of chests it rather than heads it right at the last, which should have got the draw. We didn't deserve the draw.
I'll be honest. I missed that because I have to come set the video up, so I always miss the last 60.
I'll tell you.
I missed the last 60 seconds of every game.
Okay, right. We won a free kick. Left-hand side. I don't know, sort of Cresswell type position. We won a free kick, played it really quickly down the line to Antonio was on the left wing. Surprised Leeds were still moaning about saying that shouldn't be a free kick. So Leeds were disorganised at this point. Antonio plays the ball across with his left foot from very much a left wing position, right bending behind the defence. I think it took a flick off of Aylin's toe. Bowen is as close as I am to the screen here at the goal. And the ball's about there, and he sort of contorted his body and sort of tried to shoulder or chest it, and it went over the bar. You wait till you see that on the highlights, mate. That should have been 3-3 at the end. We didn't deserve 3-3. I don't know how he missed it. I really don't. Right at the end, last kick of the game. Last breast of the game.
I was already pretty sad. You made it worse. But it finished 3-2. What do you make of it?
It's disappointing. I'm looking forward to doing the player ratings tomorrow. I am looking forward to that. I think I do need to calm down a little bit. I was fuming watching a lot of it. I mean, absolutely fuming. I expected better than that. I really did. I just expected a lot better than that. I am putting a lot of it down to the fatigue levels of playing. We just can't do it. We can't play in a week. Leeds, Norwich, Leeds again, particularly without changing the team. And so it comes down to squad, I think. And it comes
we're going to have to do something because we've got the Europa League around the corner. And we're Europa League, so we're going to have to figure something out then if we can't do it.
Well, I totally agree. And let's be fair, mate, we've got a whole week to discuss such things. But in terms of this game, how was I feeling? I was just feeling really frustrated and really, really angry about it. And I was so disappointed in the terms of this game. I absolutely he had to do something about Vlasic. I understand that had to, because he was not impacting the game from that side. I didn't feel at all. But it's just so disappointing, so disheartening as a West Ham fan to see Mark Masuaku. There was a question. Vlasic left a question today. So disheartening that Masuaku's the answer. For me, at least, maybe not everyone agrees, but and I'd say the same with Yarmolenko. When he had the shot at the end, I don't know if you'd started doing the video.
I seen the shot straight down the throat.
That's why he's there. That's the only reason to bring him onto the pitch. It's the only reason. I don't blame the header thing because it was offside. That's fine. But that bit where I think it was Lanzini laid the ball back to him, that was it. It was there. It was on his left foot. He's the second highest scorer in Ukraine's history. He's played for big clubs. He was excellent at the European Championships. This is a quality player. And if there's a lot of things you don't attribute to Yarmolenko, but there's one thing you do, and it's technique. Great technique with his left foot. I don't want that to trickle to the goalkeeper. And I was so disappointed to see Masuaku and Yarmolenko come on. And if anything highlights our issues at the moment in terms of the squad depth, it's that. And today we were stale, we were knackered, we were lazy. I'd agree with that as well. And today was the time to freshen it up. We just don't have the bodies to do it. Obviously, we were all delighted that Perkins, got a couple of minutes, but a lot was wrong today, Gio. A lot was wrong.
Yeah, there is a lot wrong today, and I'm a lot calmer than I expected, actually. I mean, I was angrier watching the game. I think I'd almost calmed down because I gave up with 5-10 minutes on the clock. I should have been getting excited that we're going to score. I gave up that we're not going to score another one. We've just got nothing left in the tank. We've got no creativity. Yep. And you know what? The subs killed us. Our subs killed us. Moyes has to take a large part of the blame for today because Bielsa sort of prepared for this game in advance. In the FA Cup game, he didn't play certain players. And now, if you want to take the FA Cup seriously, that's fine. But then you've got to make sure you have the squad. If you're going to take the FA Cup seriously as a manager, that's fine. But you've got to make sure you're going to pick up the points in the Premier League as well. And if we're going to use fatigue as an excuse today, which I think is plausible, then we'll do something about it. Ben Johnson didn't play during the week. He could have started today ahead of Creswell or Soufal. Alex Kral, where is he? What's he doing? We could have put him in there to freshen things up alongside Declan Rice. We could have put him in the team. Then you would have had Fornals or Lanzini or Vlasic on the bench to spice it up if you needed him and stuff. There was alternatives there. We're playing a side who had one player on the bench over age 21. He had to bring on 2 18-year-olds today through injuries, Bielsa. There's no reason why we couldn't have had Johnson left back and Ashby right back today if we needed to. We've got youngsters in the squad. Okoflex is in banging form to the 23s. If we're really tired of that, play him on the left at the start today, or at least have him on the bench or something. I just feel like we can't really use fatigue. I'm not having fatigue as an excuse for today's game. Did it impact the game? Probably. Well, that comes down to poor planning. And Bielsa had Moyes as manager from the start today, I think. I think Bielsa got his tactics bang on. Then he nullified us completely. We didn't really know what to do. Antonio calls him all sorts of bother last Sunday. That's fine. Stewart comes in and he'll take a hold of him. I'm not seeing a centre-back do that well against Antonio physically. Every time Antonio got it, he was behind him, stronger than Antonio, wanted it more than Antonio. Said, no, I'm out that. Bang, off you go. I was impressed by Leeds today. But the worst thing is I've seen Leeds play better than that. That is not the best. I've seen Rafinha put in man-of-match performances. That wasn't one of them. Rafinha didn't have to play that well today. Their centre-backs didn't have to play. Their keeper didn't have that much to do, really. They didn't have to be at the top of their game to win today's game because we contributed to that. They deserved the win. They played well, but it's a big lost opportunity for us today to put a little bit of space between us and the chasing pack to close the gap on. Not that we're expecting to challenge with the likes of Chelsea. We would have put us to Old Trafford with momentum behind us, confidence sky high. Today was bad. I think the substitutions of Masuaku in particular, why that sub come on, I don't know. It might be lack of options and stuff. Well, then you've got to rewind to the summer and say, well, you messed that up. The club, the manager, the board, whatever, you messed that up because you chose not to go for another striker. You chose all our attacking players are available today. The only one missing is Saeed Benrahma. We knew he was going away in January, so we were missing no attacking players today. So not having anything like that as an excuse given to us, we didn't deserve it. It's poor missed opportunity. individual performances.
I think we've covered them in many respects. Look, Rice did everything he could to drive the team forward. I mean, he really did. He really tried today, but he was left wanting by those around him. There was nobody really that could join in and help propel the team forward. The back line was completely dysfunctional, as we've already alluded to on several occasions when we've dissected the goals. It was appalling, absolutely appalling. Antonio, and we've discussed, wasn't able to get. He had moments actually where he did do reasonably well. It has to be said. It wasn't the worst performance, Antonio, today. Vlasic was really disappointing today. I feel he went backwards to that point where there's nothing wrong with his attitude. Clearly he wants to work hard. He wants to battle. I get all of that. There was one thing that really disappointed me today, though. There was a point where he didn't play to the whistle, where he felt he'd been fouled. There was no foul, and he was throwing his arms up in the air, and whoever it was, maybe it was Alien, I don't know, carried on and started running down the pitch with the ball. He's dribbling away with the ball. I'm thinking, do it. Come on, man, stop there. And so that's 2 games in a row now. Look, I'm all for the dark arts. I really am. Sometimes take a card for the team. And in fact, I think Lanzini did it in the second half. I think Lanzini had to hack someone down. He did it. It's not that. I don't mind that. But the stuff that was blatantly not going to work, like sometimes a dive in and, he basically, what he was saying. He said, I've been fouled. Where's the foul? Well, it doesn't matter, really, mate. It's a guy that you're meant to be marking is running up the field with the ball. Obviously there was some, well, you wait. You're going to be disappointed when you see the Bowen chance. So, not great, mate. Not great. Not great. What can you say? We let in 3 goals. There's no point talking about the 4th because you could say, it was offside. We scored an offside goal. It's enough. We got beaten. We got well beaten. The biggest and best thing about today is that we only damaged our goal difference by 1.
And that's the last time we'll see the Diop and Dawson partnership, hopefully, because Kurt Zuma's return is impending. We missed Thomas Suchek today massively as well.
Yep.
I think Rice is the only one that comes out with plus marks. I'm sort of want to say Jarrod Bowen, but given the chance you've described, I can't really say Jarrod Bowen. But I think I felt sorry for Rice. At one point, he almost dribbles past 3 players, gives it to someone, and that guy goes and does something wrong. You think, oh, good Jesus, Rice must want to throttle half the team sometimes. He just, come on, just be a little bit better. And we were just lacking in quality all over the pitch. And normally, when we play poorly, I'll sit here and I'll say, we didn't win, but we tried hard. We gave it 100%. I don't really feel that today. I don't really feel that we were running through a brick wall for each other, which is it is a little bit concerning in regards to the match. But I don't think we will see that again next week against Man United. That will be rectified pretty quickly. It was just a massively missed opportunity. Rice, like I said, plus points. I thought Antonio limited. His options were limited. I thought the centre backs played really well against him. Vlasic was poor. Fornals was poor, which is funny considering you got a goal, and the pass to Rice in the first half was excellent. Not enough of that, though. There was just not enough of it. I thought the whole back line was terrible today, all 4 of them, individually and as a unit, as a team. Cresswell, not good. Sufal, horrendous. Dawson, not good. Diop, horrendous. Not good. More questions than answers, more worries than more concerns than feel-good stuff. But what it does do is the board have to act now. Moyes has to act now. We've got a week to try and get somebody in to help us out for the Man United game. We were bringing Masuaku and Yarmolenko on today. We know they're not good enough. We're trying to shift them on if reports are true. That's our first 2 substitutes of the game because the squad is so thin. We have to get bodies in now. 1, 2, maybe 3, possibly even 3 signs. We need to get them in. This Diop and Dawson thing, we can't do it. We cannot play with them as a centre-back pairing. It doesn't work. The Europa League, while it's been fantastic and stuff, I think it gave us a false look at Dawson and Diop as a centre-back pairing because the opposition was so crap. Them 2 look really good and comfortable together. The Premier League is a completely different kettle of fish. They've been found out more than once. And like I said, I think today the most disappointing thing is I think Bielsa got his tactics bang on, and Moyes got them wrong. And it's not often you say that. You don't say that very often these days either. Not a good day. Any final words from yourself, Gonzo?
No, just incredibly disappointed, mate. We should have been, even if we'd have got a draw, I think I said in the video yesterday or this morning that actually, well, I'd like 6, but 4 points would be not bad from the next 2 games, and now all we can get is 3, and it puts the pressure on us going up to Old Trafford and doing something. But we cannot defend like we defended today, and expect to win any game of football. You just can't. That was unacceptable today. One thing I will say is I'm pretty sure nobody is going to be going into whatever the training ground tomorrow saying that was acceptable. I would like to see ramifications, and as you know, after what we've seen today, I expect some people not to feature again. Put it that way.
Yeah, completely agree. It is a lost opportunity for West Ham in the league table, but it's also a lost opportunity for a couple of the players as well. Dawson and Diop, they know Zuma's back. They know he's ready to go. One of them's getting kicked out of the team for next weekend, regardless of today. Neither of them have helped their case at all for playing next to Kurt Zuma. I think we know who it'll be. It'll be Craig Dawson, and we know that. But Diop had a final chance today to show Moyes what he's got. Vlasic, Fornals, Lanzini, one of them's getting dropped for Thomas Souček. Case of which one? Again, I don't think any of them's done any favours. I think Lanzini will stay in the team anyway. But between Vlasic and Fornals, I don't know who Moyes will play. Probably Fornals because he trusts him, not because of today's performance. And that's not a good thing. Fornals should be staying in the team next Saturday because of his performance. Maybe he's going. He got his goal today. Unlucky not get an assist as well. That'll probably carry him through. But I expect to see reactions as well. I want to see Ben Johnson in the team next weekend as well. We'll deal with it in the Man United preview, but we've got to see a reaction from Moyes. And that's the one saving grace. You've touched upon it, which is the game is finished, that finishes, that performance, that whatever it is, that finishes with the game as well. It stays at the London Stadium. We'll see a reaction next week, and I think we can have faith in that reaction as well, because it's not often we play badly like that, 2 games in a row, but massive lost performance, missed opportunity for West Ham today. Anyway, we are going to leave it there. We'll cover our player ratings over on Patreon tomorrow morning. If you want to know what that is, go to patreon.com/SamsChat. Link is in description below, where myself and Gonzo go through each individual player, which will be fun tomorrow, of course, as well as the manager. Just giving them a brief mark out of 10, having an in-depth discussion too. If you enjoyed this review, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. Myself and Gonzo, catch you in a bit.